아이고. Not so good there. Ooh, that was nestled down a little bit. That's going to be a very awkward little pitch for So Young. Yeah, one. Good chance to get to 2 under here. Hutchinson should be disappointed with the way that the NH Ladies Championship panned out a couple of weeks ago. To be so in control of that tournament going into Sunday, just let it slip through her fingers. Grazes the edge of the cup but remains above ground for year one.
Okay.
Plenty of holes to play, plenty of opportunities await.
이동 멈춰주세요.
Shinsil, very important. This one goes in the middle of the cup with good pace. She does tend to get a little bit squirrely with this club in her hands, particularly back 9 on Sunday. Yeah, well done. Really good putt there. Nice 2-putt for Bang Shin-sil. Keeps her 1 under. So just be a little back foot stab and run here. Everything will feed down towards the pin and a little bit from her left. Just a little bit heavy-handed with that one for Lee So-mi. Clumsy by her standards, really. Park Ji-young coming towards the end of her opening round. It's been a good start. 3 under. Gotta make sure you get it on that upper left level on this 9th, and well, she's certainly done that. That's an opportunity to make it a 3-way tie for the lead at 4 under par in a couple of moments. To the 7th and Yejin Choi. So many of the holes here at Seongmunan Golf Club. Elevated tee box. That ball spends a lot of time in the air. You do get a little bit more distance, but especially when the wind starts to pick up and swirl, it does offer just one more permutation you have to factor in. The crowd like it. Not sure Hyejin does. A little bit off the heel. Should find the fairway though for the 8-time KLPGA Tour champion. There's a 1 KLPGA Tour major to her name that came at Lakewood Country Club back in 2018 at the KLPGA Championship in a playoff, no less. Shin-sil. Never get tired of watching the speed she generates with this club. Hold on to your hats. Don't think she's going to be leaving anything in the tank.
Yeah!
And the sound that ball makes coming off that club face, the amount of compression she generates. She's only 19. She's going to get stronger and stronger. And she's, what's that, 50 yards off the front of the green? Remarkable stuff. So need to tidy up what would be a rather messy but a welcome par. Off the putter face, did not have the steam to get there. It's going to be a untidy bogey 4 for Lee So-mi. Slips back to level par. Didn't quite expect the same amount of pop off the club face of Lee Yeon, but she is one of the straightest. There was a time not long ago where Choi Hye-jin was the up-and-coming rookie on the KLPGA Tour. She's now one of the veterans, if you dare call her that, particularly in the company of Yeon and Shin Sil as we go up to the 9th, and Park Ji-young with hopefully the final stroke of her opening round. Just wanders right at the end. But like Yoo So-yeon, it's going to be a good solid opening round of 69 for Park Ji-young. Recorded the most rounds of any player on tour in the 60s in 2022. Now Son Ye-bin back on the tee. Green is a little bit shallower left of the pin, but that's straight at it. Excellent tee shot there. So we have a third place finish and a runner-up finish this year. That runner-up finish coming at the KLPGA Championship. Championship that this lady has won twice. Park Hyun-kyung for a birdie at the 9th, her final hole. That one just veers off a little right. And like Park Min-chi, Hyun-kyung with a bit of a day to forget this Friday morning at Seongmunan Golf Club. 2 over past 74. Early double bogey on her back 9, really putting pay to her charge. I mentioned this was going to be awkward for So-young. Ball sitting down, landing on the backside of that downslope. Really has to drop this in the fringe, hope it takes some sting out. Anything inside of 6-10 feet would be an excellent shot from here. Really, she has played that as well as she could have. That's the price you pay for missing it in the wrong spot around some of these greens. It's not the thickest rough you're going to see on tour all year, but you can draw some awful lies. Jenny Sung coming up to her closing hole. Oh, very good. That'd be to go out in level par 36. So-young coming back up the hill, so can be aggressive with this putt. Sometimes holding par putts like these do more for your momentum and confidence than making birdies. It's not going to be for So-young, who'll slide back to 1 under. First drop shot of the afternoon. Wants to play into the 7th. Hedgen. Pin's all the way in the back left here. You don't want to go long left. Steady, steady. Okay, it's going to be awkward, but not as hard as Lee So Young's shot. I mean, the line looks a little bit better. Troy Hedgen. Yeah, one. Coming out the left side of the fairway. Slightly easier angle, I guess you could say. So it forces you a little bit right of this pin. Not a bad thing. 151 left. Should get a little bit of help off that crest. Down it comes. Yeah, not too bad. Good smart shot there. You don't want to bite off more than you can chew, especially on day one. Keep giving yourself decent looks at birdies. Eventually one or two surely will drop. Shinsil. It looked a little bit closer from the aerial cam, but still not much left in this one. And you've seen how firm and bouncy some of these greens are already. Again, with the speed that she creates, she can get lots of spin on this, so she can pretty much fly it all the way to the hole, get it to stop pretty quick. Just like that. Superb stuff from Bang Shin-sil. Sonia Bin. After a laser-like tee shot at the 8th. Birdie opportunity to go to 2 under. So a couple of players coming up short, particularly from that sort of range. So I wonder if they're giving the pace of these greens a little bit too much respect. They are in absolutely immaculate condition. I don't expect this one to come up short. Nothing more than inside left edge for Jun Yi-sung's birdie. Yeah, very nicely done. Capitalizes on that beautiful wedge shot. So 36 to the turn. Balances the books. Does Yi-sung. We know what the trick is here. Just want to have really soft grip pressure. Drop it into that fringe and tumble that down towards the pin. And she has flubbed that. It's still going to go creeping on down for Choi Hye-jin. Such a delicate shot. Requires so much touch and feel, and even for a player of her caliber, just a little tricky. It's the mistake you make going long left on the 7th hole this afternoon. Conversely, year one with a much simpler shot here. Just short of pin high right, so putting pretty much straight up that little rise. Looks like a fairly straight putt as well. If anything, maybe just wants to fall a little left at the end. It's a putt that she will need to give a little extra oomph. Coming up that slope. A little bit slower. For the first time today, comes up just a little shy.
Okay.
Somi out of some of the tangly stuff here at the 9th. Poor layup to be in this spot. We'll have to allow for a bit of release out of the rough onto these firmer greens. Yeah, just try to hoist that one up in the air, landed on the front fringe, and look at the putt she's left herself all the way through the back of this par 5 with her third shot. So edge in for her par. Significant amount of swing from right to left for Choi. Just looked like it started a fraction left of her intended aiming line. Like Lee So-young, she will fall victim to a drop stroke at this 7th hole. Speaking of So-young, she's up on 8T. Imagine this would be no more than a 7-9 for her, maybe even an 8. Pretty good there. She's going to release out, take the slope. Chance for the bounce back birdie to come for Lee So-young. Back in the winner's circle in 2022 after a 3-year absence. Got that back at the Diowenia MBN Ladies Open. That excellent tee shot. Second shot, Shinsil for her birdie to get to 2 under at the 7th. Should just be a left to righter. No, low all the way, unfortunately. It's just something she can't afford to do. I mean, she's really used her length advantage very well on this 7th hole. With a very nice wedge shot. Again, a bit like a Choi Hye-jin. Sometimes that club in the hands right now just doesn't quite cooperate. And it can rattle you as a player. It's like you want to force the issue sometimes. So it's only going to be a par for Shinsil. Still remains just inside the top 15. As it was at the top of the show, 4 under par. Sets the pace here on day 1.
우승할 줄 정말 몰랐고요. 정말 믿기지도 않고 지금 얼떨떨해가지고 네 그래도 한 1승은 더 1, 2승은 더 하고 싶습니다. 네 그게 목표를 잡고 더 열심히 해야죠.
wisely opting for the lofted option here for Lee So-mi, but we'll have to throw it quite a long ways out right and let it kick left as it makes its way to the cup, and that's just hit with a bit too much steam. And Lee So-mi now faced with the very distinct possibility of dropping back-to-back shots on her way out to the back nine as we go back to the eighth, and Lee So-young, really good look for a birdie here on the par 3. Got the speed. Oh, just not enough to hold its line. So near par. To the turn, and Jun Yi-sung's second into the 10th. Pins cut deep in the back right corner of the green today. A brave second shot challenging those 2 greenside bunkers, and she has been rewarded with about a 20-foot birdie look to start her back nine. Won't be able to see it. That 10th green sits just a bit above the level of the fairway, but she'll be delighted when she gets there. So-mi for her par at the 9th to hit out in level par. No, not to be. I've just seen a little bit too much of this from Lee So-mi during the first couple of events of the year. It's one too many sloppy mistakes that have cost her. Playing alongside Jun Yi-sung. So coming out the left side of the fairway, which does offer up a slightly better angle for Ko Ji-yu. That one pitched a little bit soft, but it's going to be fine. Good shot. Playing this group, Kim Woo-jong as we drop back to 8, and Lee Ye-won's tee shot. So the best way to get it close is just be a little bit left of this pin. There is that slope which Lee So-young used to just sort of funnel the ball down to this pin position. Just go straight at it, why don't you? The glory of youth, just be so confident, just fire at every flagstick when you have the perfect number as she did there. The question is, can she take advantage? If it was an 8-iron for year 1, be hard pressed to think this is anything more than a 9 for Shin Sil. She couldn't possibly get a wedge from here, could she? And she's long, but that'd be ridiculous. At it like she likes it. Oh goodness, she should have hit the wedge, because that is carried a good 10 yards past the flag. It's not the hardest up and down in the world she's left herself, but a wry smile tells you maybe she was thinking about that shorter club. Oh, pigeon. Imagine this isn't a wedge, probably an 8-iron for her. done so many times in her career, just lacing one straight at the flagstick. It's going to run on a little bit, but a good shot nonetheless from the 8-time tour winner. Our first look of the day at Lee Ga-young, who's playing alongside the now struggling Lee So-mi. Ga-young for a birdie to turn in even par. Oh, that grabbed a big piece of the cup. Judging by how far that's run on, that's probably a good thing, because that was traveling with some pace. Birdie look for Chinese Sung, left to right, coming up the hill slightly at 10. Good pace on that, just a little low. Waited 79 events before finally entering the winner's circle last year at the Korea Championship. So she knows a thing or two about persistence. Early birdie, but a couple of drop shots. 37 to the turn, like her playing partner, Lee So-mi. She's got the club face pretty wide open here, which surprises me because there is lots of room to work with. You think a sort of lower chip and run shot might be the play. Because if you try to fan the club face open and take a bit of the slope out, stuff like that can happen. That's a little bit poor from the 19-year-old. Yeah, Koji Yu. Putt that will move a fraction left for her, but a chance to balance the books for this opening round. That one falls off on the low side as well. Swing that much for Hye-jin. Hangs that one out to dry. So par keeps her even. Just short of this 9th green, Son Ye-bin. Like that one back. Certainly was looking to land that one on the green, not short of it. That fringe was taking all the speed out of it, but it's a birdie look that she's left herself. Shin-sil for her par. Oh, that's nicely held. Big sigh of relief from Bang Shin-sil, who was a little bit sloppy on the 8th, but she'll keep that scorecard nice and tidy. Yeah, one would have gotten pretty much the perfect line read of Shin-sil's putt. Just a fraction outside the right with good pace. nicely holed from Lee Won. Good tee shot, a good stroke. She moves within 2 of your pair of leaders. Son Ye-bin ahead at 9 for her birdie. It's been a tricky read, this one. Wants to fall off a little right at the end, and, well, there's another player baffled by the break at 9. Let's have a look at this par 5 ninth, this dramatic signature hole here. Obviously, right is not a good thing on this 475-meter beast. Try and take it up the left-hand side. That tree you see right in the middle of your screen right now, that would be the landing, that would be the target line for the players off the tee. You do venture a little bit right, you could catch one of those 2 fairway bunkers. Pretty much everyone in the field will be looking to lay out here. That fairway bunker about 50 yards short of the green, that is usually going to be your ideal layout line. So much of this is dependent on how comfortable you are with your wedge game. Do you want to be further back, give yourself a fuller shot in, or try and get close to the green like Son Ye-bin did? Try and take your chances from about 50 yards. The pin today cut right on that front left section, 8 from the front and just 8 from the left. I'm very curious to see if Bang Shin-sil, with a good tee shot, attacks this one in 2, because, as you can tell, there's not much room for error to that front left pin. First to play will be the lady at 2 under par, Lee Won. Such a scary tee shot for your weekend golfer and the club members. For these professionals, you just pick a target at the distance, make a good swing at it. Think about where you want the ball to go, not where you don't want it to go. So many people think it don't.
플레이하겠습니다.
Shin-sil certainly looks like driver in hand. So you have to go a little bit right of that tree, almost challenge those 2 bunkers. Gave that an extra look. It should be fine. Just a little left, and that snuggles down in some rough. Tell you what, you know she's aggressive, but she'd have to be very brave indeed to have a crack at the green in 2 from that lie. I expect Choi Hye-jin, like Lee Won, going to play this one as a 3-shotter. Nicely worked out there, just at the left half of the fairway. Going to be a slight hanging lie, but safely on the short stuff for Choi. Highest ranked player in the field in the Rolex Women's World Rankings. 24th. It's a career high for her. Much further up the hole, Lee So-young. 3rd shot in. A little bit further back than Son Ye-bin was, so should be able to get a little bit more spin on this one. So you do not want to be right at this pin. There's a big valley that feeds everything away. That's pretty good. Up to the back 9 and the 2nd shot of Lee Ga-young from the right half of the fairway. She'll have to come straight over those 2 greenside bunkers if she wants to take a direct line at this pin. Could have done with maybe half a club more. So a little bit more down the middle of the fairway. We'll have to still exercise caution. Had a couple of clunky iron shots over the last couple of holes, so just look out to the left here. Give yourself something inside of 30 feet. good there. Excellent, in fact, from Lee So-mi. Looking to steady the ship, get things back under control. So we drop back to 9. And Lim Hee-jong, the Korean Women's Open champion, who, like Park Min-ji, is struggling 3 over par and still has, well, the entire back 9 to play. Missed the cut a couple of weeks back at the NH Ladies Championship, Hee-jong. Two balls in the fairway and Bang Shin-sil in the left rough. Year one. Just want to start this and a TV crane in the distance towards that 50-yard bunker. Looks to have left herself a nice flat lie as well, which is going to make that third shot a little bit simpler. Now hedge in, ball slightly below her feet, which normally does produce or promote a bit of left to right cut spin on it. If anything, just look towards the left edge of that bunker in the distance. If it stays dead straight on her, no problem. Just slides off a little bit right. She's got the width of the fairway to work with. Squeezes a little fade up the left-hand side beautifully. Up as well for Shin-sil. Oh, that's an awful lie. I can barely see the top of the ball here. And that should stay on the fairway. It does. So back in position on 9 is Bang Shin-sil. Green, so young for a birdie 4. Every player that we've seen has missed it on that side of the cut, whether they're from past the pin or short of it. You just don't see that extra little bit of movement towards the low point of the green. Caddy just pointing out where Guy Young should be landing this ball. Looks like about a yard past the fringe. And this one should kick left once it hits the green. Yeah, not too bad. You see she was very close to that sprinkler, but it wasn't impeding her intended swing, so wasn't able to get relief from it. We've all been in that spot. It's just sort of in the back of your mind all the time. Downhill line out. 76 left for GU into the 11th. And she'll only have about 6 feet left for her birdie. More importantly, she's underneath the pin and affords her the uphill look. Now So-mi to try to steady the ship. Moves quite hard to the right at the end. And just unable to get any sort of feel going right now, Lee So-mi. Does temporarily stop the bleeding. And it's birdies she wants, not just pars, as we have a beautiful aerial look down to what the players face on this par 5 that rounds out the front 9 here at Seongmunan Golf Club. With these 3 players coming out of the fairway from inside 60 meters, you just get the sense that you're going to see at least one ball stiff. Again, the key is you don't want to carry this one past the pin. If you do, you usually get a pretty firm bounce and it can release a good sort of 10-15 feet further away from the cup. You don't win 8 times on tour unless you've got a good wedge game. Oh, that's one stiff. That's excellent. Have a look at that from above. Such wonderful rhythm. Never looks rushed at all with those shots. Pitches it short of the hole, gets the check. Over to you, Lee Won. Couple yards closer, but same sort of plan required here. Can she execute? Yeah, pretty good. Not quite as good as Hirjins, but she'll be a decent look for Lee Won. Shinsil, just out of the left edge of the fairway. Oh, and that's even better than Hirjins. Beautifully played from Bang. Really good compression. You can hear the sound of that descending blow, and that creates spin. You almost feel like that ball's rolling up the grooves on your club face, maximizing spin control. A pair of excellent shots and a pretty good one from Lee Won. So birdie looks to come for this afternoon's featured group at the par 5 9th here on day 1 at the E1 Charity Open. Kim Min Sun 7 and the 2021 champion of this tournament, Jihan Sol, lead the way at 4 under par. longest of the 3 birdie putts for the featured group on the 9th. Let's see if Year One can decipher this one. Gonna start this a little bit further left than you think. Oh, and that one stays left. Such a tricky read to that front left pin on 9 today. It's only going to be a par for Year One, but that'll be a tidy outward half, a 34. Son Ye-bin just out of the left rough on 10. Sitting nicely, it's a good angle. But she's done the smart thing there, just looking out a little bit left. It's really one of those pin positions on 10 where you don't have to go straight at it. Par's a good score on 10. Shinsil pretty much rammed this one straight in the middle of the cup. Yeah, well done. Very nice 4 for Bang Shin-sil. Like Year One, good clean scorecard. Koji Yu ahead at 11 with this uphill putt. Don't want to give the hole away from this range, just inside right edge. Yeah, nicely done. Gets back to even par. Never a bad time to make your first birdie of the day. What should be a formality for Choi Hye-jin. Indeed it is. Birdies for Shinsil and Hye-jin. The latter gets to 1 under par. Little blemish coming with that for a second shot into the 7th. Year One with a nice efficient outward half of 34, hits to the turn at 2 under. Bit of an awkward hanging lie for Lee Ga-young into 11. Ball well above her feet. So this one will be spinning left. Not bad. That's going to be a tricky putt for Ga-young. Son Ye-bin, slow one up the hill at 10 for a birdie. Looks pretty good. Oof. Just another ounce or 2 of pace, and that would have at least grabbed a piece of the cup. But as I mentioned earlier, 4, not a bad score on 10 with this back right pin. Ball also above the feet of Lee So-mi into 11, but quite as severe as Ga-young's. key with this 11th hole is just want to be underneath it. Yeah, that's okay. It's not ideal, but it's going to be a far simpler putt than the one that Lee Ga-yong's left herself for birdie. So Young, normally a very aggressive player, but pins in the right corners of greens don't set up well for her stock draw. To get this one close, you'd almost have to send it out to the middle of the traps. Oh, that one is not going to take the slope back, and much like on 7, Lee So-young finds herself in an awkward little situation, missing a green there. It's the beautiful but treacherous island green at the 12th. Ko Ji-yu fresh off her birdie at 11. I have the honor, pins just 5 paces from the front edge of the green here. You can see the elevation that the players deal with. It's 149 meters, but it's only a 9-iron for Ji-yu. Really, anything on the dance floor here, we would take that 3 times all week long and get out of Dodge. Oh, straight at it. A bold shot from Ko Ji-yu. She's got another good look for birdie as we drop back to 10T, and Bang Shin-sil out with the big stick. Leading like she's leaked that a touch right. And not going to grab a piece of the fairway. She's just got to be sensible from there. No point in going at the flag. Play it out to where Sonia Bin did. Take your chances from 40 feet away. Hedgen. With this pin position on 10, you want to be hugging that left side of the fairway. Even if you're in the first cut of rough, it gives you a much better angle to attack. That's exactly where she's left it. Knocked on the door several times in her rookie campaign to Lee Won. Picked up the first win of the year, of course not the season, that started back at the Singapore Women's Open at the end of 2022. First win of the year on the KLPGA Tour on Jeju Island at the Lotte Rent-A-Car Ladies Open. Wire to wire for a breakthrough title there. Looked a little bit snatchy. He saved it pretty well at the bottom. Recovers well. She got away with one there in the year 1. Not an easy walk around this layout. Lots of hills, lots of topography changes to deal with at Seong Mongnan Golf Club. Going to be a slick chip here from the back of the green at 10 for Lee So-young. Much like on 7, she is scrambling for a par. Jun Yi-sung up the hill for her birdie at the 12th to get back into red figures. Ooh, just a little high. Gaia for her birdie at 11 from just the top side of the hole. Gotta be careful, easy to let this one get away from you. Decent effort. GU for back-to-back birdies. Be a fairly straight putt, this one. If anything, just wants to wiggle a little left at the end. Oh, I just forgot to hit it. Somi needs to start seeing some of these putts going in. Oh, that one just rakes across the face of the cup, and like Lee Guy-young, the pair of them sort of coasting along at 1 over par, not really making any kind of progress this Friday afternoon. Yeah, so young. Not easy, this. Significant amount of movement to her left for a par. At least one cup outside the right edge, maybe two. Just left herself too much work to do, really. It's going to be another bogey for Lee So-young. Started off her round so nicely, 2 under through her first 4, but a couple of drop shots at 7 and 10 leave her back at even par. Now to the 12th tee and Lee Guy-young.
Okay, shot.
Excellent. Underneath the cup, fairly straight putt. Son Yubin ahead at 13. 337 metre par 4. So Koji, you stick one in close. Just a little bit long there for Yubin, but that's okay. Somi. It's such a dramatic drop from tee box down to green. That ball spends a lot of time in the air, but the breeze has abated slightly over the last hour. Does simplify this shot just a touch. Looking to follow in Guy-young's excellent tee shot. Looking a little right. Ooh, stay up. Okay, it does. Sense he's just not quite comfortable over the ball. Hedgen looks like the second shot on the night. This ball slightly below her feet, but with the pin on the right, that does sort of work to her advantage. Still want to look about 15 feet left. Just try to slide this ball back towards that right hole location. Oh, brilliantly played. This could be good. There's a little backstop. Is it going to take it? Ooh, just unlucky. Pretty good there from Choi Hye-jin. Long way back at 160. Year one, slightly flatter looking lie. Doing the right thing, looking well out to the left here. Uh-oh, and that one is in Lee So-young country. Yeah, Shinsil, just no angle and no green to work with from here. Out of the right rough to a back right pin, and that's really the mistake she couldn't afford to make, which is in the front of those, the first of those two greenside bunkers. So a long bunker shot left for Bang Shin-sil. Four under par, still the target. A pair of leaders, Kim Min-sun 7 and Ji-han Sol, here on day one at the E1 Charity Ladies Open. So long, nasty bunker shot left for Bang Shin Sil to start her back nine. As long as that's not plugged, it's still doable, I suppose. Imagine he'd play this with a 54-degree wedge, not your lob wedge. Try and play like a long explosion shot. Oh, and she has played that beautifully. You could drop a bucket of balls there and struggle to get one inside of that. That's a touch of class from Shinsil. You've been down the hill for a birdie at the 11th to get within 2 of your co-leaders. Oh, just gave the slope too much respect and only a par. Ticklish one for year one. Just land this about a foot short of the green and let the slope do the rest. Just gonna trickle away. Still not the easiest putt she's left herself. Remember, both year one and Shinsil at 2 under and bogey free, but both with testing par putts to start their back nines as we go up to 12 and Lee Somi. Pretty well played pitch there from Somi. Should escape with a par 3. Player who prides herself on some excellent iron play, she has hit some real stinkers this opening round. Speaking of good iron play, Hejin always seems to be putting for birdie every time we look up. It's going to fall off low like so many others. Always tough for a right-handed golfer, a putt that breaks away from you from left to right, or right to left if you're a lefty. A solid par. Start her trek home. Joy Hedgen. After that lovely tee shot at 12, Gai Young for her birdie. And she's going to take advantage. A nice birdie indeed. And to no one's surprise, the Lee Gai Young fan club is out in force here on day one. They do follow her everywhere she goes. One of the more popular players on the KLPGA Tour. Yeah, first look of the day at Hong Jung Min. Lost in the semi-finals last week at the Doosan match play to eventual champion Sung Yu Jin. Incredible defensive match play title that she won last year, beating Lee Ye-won in the finals a year ago. Just 113 left into the 11th. Takes it straight over the stick. Good aggressive shot there. Year one for her par. Must start this one outside the right edge. Too far outside the right edge. So, bit of a messy 5 for year one. Close to the bunker lip here for Lee So Young. The 11th. Gets that to stop on a dime. Nicely played. Shinsil for what would be a very good sand save. Oh no, that's a real shame. So both Year One and Shinsil drop shots at 10. Gibbon to the 12th tee. We've seen a couple of good tee shots into this front right pin today. It's an 8-iron for Son. Imagine it's going to be a rather soft one. Trying to peel a fade off that middle of the green. Maybe just caught in between clubs there. Still safely on the dance floor. To 11T and Edge Enjoy.
Shot.
Big tee shot, going to catch that down slope and go releasing on down the 10-15 yards. That's in prime position. Think about it. Hijin Choi, 23 years old. She's the oldest player in this 3-ball. The other one's 20. This young lady, just 19. And understandably, going with less than driver here, this should get her to the downslope quite easily. Get a bit of extra run as well. Down she comes. Side by side with Choi Hye-jin. A Korean women's amateur champion and a Korean girls junior champion as well, Bang Shin-sil. She pushed this just a little bit. She gets tangled up in the rough. It's not going to get the kick down the fairway. Oh dear. That one sails into the fairway trap up the right-hand side for year one. The lip's not too bad on that one, but it's just a bit of a poor miss from year one. As we go up to the green, and Lee So-young trying to get back on the birdie train. Yeah, that one's got away from her. It's rolled a good 4 feet past the cup. Yebin, middle of the green at 12 for her birdie. Just coaxing that one down the slope. Pretty good for pace. Steady 3. Keep her in red figures at 1 under. Just the one bogey coming back on 3 for Son Ye-bin. Jung Min to try to get to 1 over par. Agonizingly close. Just a par for Jung Min. Bit of work to be done for Lee So-young's par. Just inside left edge, but nothing more than that. Well hold, straight in the middle. A round that started so quickly has just sort of fizzled out into nothingness right now. Stays even par and a share of 32nd, and well, how far up Leo Wan's looking at that bunker. That's not a good sign. I don't imagine that ball's come to rest in the bunker on the far slope, because I mean that would be almost physically impossible. And yeah, unfortunately, as I suspected, in the rough face of that bunker, now this becomes a bit of a problem. It's sitting down in some of this matted rough, and she's going to have such a steep uphill lie to deal with. Not going to be able to get much leverage using her legs with that stance, and this ball's going to want to obviously pop out very high and come out a little bit left. The real mistake here would be to leave it, sort of plug it in that front bunker. You're almost going to have to club up, play this like a 140 shot. Try and look out towards the TV tower at the back of the green, swing hard and hope for the best, but sort of stable body's key for this. Generate as much speed as possible with your arms. And she has done very nicely from there. Wasn't an easy shot. She's played it well. Done the smart thing too. Giving herself loads of green to work with for her third. No such problems for Hye-jin and Shin-sil. It's going to be the teenager first to go. Ball's going to be just a touch above her feet. Slight downhill lie, so it's going to come up with a little flat draw. I'd aimed this just at that little slanted tree. So over the back of the green. Yeah, pretty good. Gives herself the uphill look. So young at the 12th. Oh no. No. Contact didn't sound like the best, and unfortunately for Lee So Young, that ball has been hydrated at the island green. Hye-jin. Should just be a stock sandwich for her. How many times have we seen that through the years? Another brilliant shot from inside 100 from Choi Hye-jin. A look at birdie to come for the 8-time KLPGA Tour winner, who's looking to add a 9th this week. She's currently 1 under par, 3 behind the pair of leaders who sit at 4 under after matching 68s this morning. Looks to be a good 60 feet here for Leo Won's third. Electing to putt this one from the back fringe. That's the percentage played. It's going to move hard to her left once it gets on the green, then should straighten up before starting to move left again as it gets to the hole. Settle down, settle down. That's just rolled outside of Choi Hye-jin's marker. Yeah, from the drop zone at the 12th, So Young rinsed her tee shot. It's now her third. She's going to have that for bogey. Shinso for the immediate bounce back birdie. It's good luck here underneath the hole. Give this one a wrap. Just a little too high. Sonia Bin on the 13th, just coming out of that right rough. Looks to be a half-decent lie. Pin today in the back left, guarded by water. And that goes skating through the green. Okay. Nothing disastrous there. Year one for her par. So back-to-back bogeys to start her inward nine. Leaves Lee Won back at even par. Jenny Sung with the left to right swinger. Another one, just not hit with quite enough conviction. It's been steady but unspectacular this afternoon from Jenny Sung. First look of the day at Lee Joo-mi, who's 2 over par at the moment, but coming out of the middle of the fairway at the 13th. Oh, and that is beautifully played. Excellent shot in from Joo-mi. Winner of the Mediheel Championship earlier this season for her breakthrough triumph on tour. Now Hye-jin for another birdie to get to 2 under. If she could putt as well as some of her contemporaries on tour, how many titles would she have in the locker by now? Here been ample green to work with. Everything feeds right towards the water. Wasn't a bad shot, but it's just a little uncomfortable 8-footer now for par. This is more than 8 feet, and it's for a lot more than par for Lee So-young at the 12th. Going to be a bogey. It's going to be a double for Lee So-young, who all of a sudden finds herself at 2 over par. Shinsil to tidy things up for a 4 at 11. Somi much further up this back nine. Second shot into the 14th now, and well, that's more like it. That's the Lee Somi we've expected to see. 5 tour titles. Picked up 2 wins in both of the last 2 seasons with Somi. Now Yi-sung at the final par 3. Just gets tangled up in the fringe. Ga-young, can she follow in Lee So-mi's excellent second to the 14th? Pin is 31 paces from the front of the green, just 7 from the right, and this is going to feed around. How about those 2 golf shots from Lee Ga-young and Lee So-mi? Brilliant. Without a doubt, one of the prettiest holes here at Seongmunan Golf Club. The downhill island green par 312. Plays 149 meters on the scorecard, but it's certainly a lot shorter than that with the elevation that the players deal with. Needless to say, you better be on your iron game if you want to attack this pin today. That's cut just in that front right section. 5 from the front and 8 from the right. Golfers here at Seongmunan Golf Club, they get nervous standing on this tee no matter how many times you play it. But for a player like Choi Hye-jin, with her iron game, she's thinking birdie opportunity, one of the easier hole locations on this green. Certainly, if you hit shots like that, that is spectacular from Choi Hye-jin. Never fails to inspire. Shinsil, you see, 9-9's a very popular choice of club. This looks to be a wedge for her. It's probably just going to be a stock wedge as well. Yep, there it is. It's a pitching wedge in hand. Follow those 2 shots in. Whatever you can do, I can do better. Over to you, year 1. Talked about it back on 9. It looks intimidating, but really when you break it down, every golf shot's pretty much the same. Yes, the consequences for a poor shot are a lot steeper in some cases, but for the most part, you're just trying to hit your line, hit your number, give yourself the best chance. Here one's ball coming a little bit flatter than her 2 playing partners. A very similar result. 3 excellent tee shots to the 12th from this featured group. Much like on the 9th, 3 birdie opportunities to come with Ye-won putting first. Come on, So-mi. Time to get back amongst the birdies. Excellent second into the 14th. A really good look to return herself to even par for the round and championship. She want to just dive a little left as it gets to the cup. So just a right edge putt. Well done indeed. A timely birdie for Lee So-mi, second of the day. It's back inside the top 35. Back to 13 and Sun Ye-bin for her par. Oh, very nicely holed. Had the early walk going, and for good reason. That's a good up and down. Guy Young. Just a left edge putt here. Keep that head steady. No peeking. Yeah, pair of birdies from Guy Young and So-mi on 14. It's the pair of them to even par. Year one. Coming slightly down the hill. I think this one wants to move a little bit left on her. I just don't see too much break, especially from the top side of the hole. Chance nonetheless to return herself to red figures. That one moves right on her and oh, steady on. That was an excellent shot in from Lee Joo-mi. This to get back to 1 over. Yeah, clawing her way back into this round. Good birdie. Nice three. Say this might be the easier of the two birdie putts for Bang Shin-sil. Up the hill. Should just be a touch outside the right. Well holed. Very nice birdie for Bang Shin-sil. Just lurking outside the top 10. He's the 19-year-old. To the lady who's taken a bit of a nosedive since we came on air, Lee So-young. Second into 13. Pin that sets up well for her. She's going to take full advantage. A lovely iron shot from So-young. Let's look at her attention. It's only about 4 feet away. Just want to keep that putt ahead accelerating. Good positive stroke. Keep that head down. Very nicely holed. Takes advantage of a beautiful tee shot. Choi Hye-jin will get to 2 under par. Jun Yi-sung just short of the green. Here at the 15th. Why don't we take you back and have a look at the 345-meter par 4 13th. Water frames the entire left-hand side of this sweeping dogleg right to left hole. The pair of fairway bunkers in the distance will be the aiming start point for all the players in the field. Maybe only Bang Shin-sil will have to worry about them. They are quite a ways up there. 210. Reach the first one, about 235 to the second. Once you safely negotiate that tee shot, the job's not done yet. This green does tilt ever so slightly from right to left, all collecting down to that water on the left-hand side. But we have seen a couple of players get close to this pin position. Junhee and more recently Lee So-young using that little central spine to try to feed that ball towards that pin that's got 24 from the front and just 6 from the left.
플레이할게요.
Just try to split the difference between those two bunkers. That'll be where Choi Hye-jin wants to start this tee shot. That is the proverbial frozen rope right there. Excellent. And gets a nice firm kick as well. Must be so nice to be in such control of your golf swing. And the side spin on that golf ball. Now Shin-sil opting for the 3-wood here. I like this play. Takes the far bunker out of play so she can start this one at the bigger of the two traps and just turn a little draw over. An advantage hitting driver here for her. Nothing quite like out-driving your playing partner with one less club in hand, such as the power and speed of Bang Shin-sil. Year one, last to play. It's a bit of a skiddy patch since making the turn at 2 under. I bet you would know it. Calm, cool and collected as always. Starting a little further left than the two playing partners. Is it going to hang on? Ooh. I don't think so. I think this back 9 slide could be getting a little bit worse for last year's Rookie of the Year. The lady who came runner-up in the 2021 Rookie of the Year race. Jung-min to get to 2 over up ahead on the green. She's finally made one. That's more like it. Started her day horribly with a triple bogey at the second. She's battling back bravely. Hibin up the hill on 14. Seen a couple of good shots in already. Certainly add that one to the list. Beautifully played by Son. So-young trying to get something going in the right direction on this back 9. This is a decent chance here on 13. It's going to fall right at the end. Nothing going her way over the last 2 hours. So a very good shot into the 13th from Lee Junhee. She's going to follow it up with a pretty good one on 14. Took a bit of a firm bounce, but that's not bad at all. So-mi on 15. Just want to carry that front bunker. It's got to pitch it on the green. It will tangle up in the fringe if you don't have the right distance. Well, that carried past the pin. Pretty good. But unlucky that's released on 5-6 more feet actually, but safely aboard for Lee So-mi. Gaia. Looks like a wedge as well for Lee. Much better. Excellent tee shot. One of the best we've seen on the 15th today from Lee Ga-young. Despite some excellent shots being played around Seongmunan Country Club. That 4 under par target set by Kim Min Sun 7 and Ji Han Sol this morning, yet to be challenged. It's 2 at the top at 4 under on day 1 at the E1 Charity Ladies Open. Under that tee shot of Lee Watt flirting with trouble on the left-hand side. The good news is that ball has stayed out of the penalty area. The bad news is, well, there's no option to advance it towards the hole. Just has to chop this one out sideways and try to keep it in the fairway, which she's done. Such a tough hole, almost goads you into trying to take a more aggressive line off the tee, and if you don't pull that shot off, well, one can tell you all about the pitfalls there as we go up to 15, and Somi's birdie look from mid-range. Just running out of pace, but you can understand that, coming slightly downhill. Out of the middle of the fairway again. It's a red light pin for most mortals, but Choi Hye-jin, and she only sees the flag stick from here. 96 left. And another absolute dart straight over the stick. A bit unlucky that one released left, but a beautiful iron shot again from Choi Hye-jin. So for back-to-back birdies now, Lee Joo-mi. Sidewinder bending hard to the right at the 14th. Oh, not that hard, Joo-mi. Certainly not at that speed. Shinsil. Imagine she'd be looking pretty much straight at the stick as well, with it can't be anything more than a wedge in her hands. Right over it. Excellent. Son Yeo-bin, also an excellent second into the 14th. He's given herself a number of birdie opportunities in this back nine, but this one's certainly the best of the bunch. Did you finally get it to 2 under par? Not at that speed. Slacked a little conviction there from Son. Golden opportunity falls by the wayside. She'll stay at 1 under. And after that wonderful tee shot at the 15th, Ga-young to get into red numbers. And she'll take full advantage of it. At some point, I'm going to learn what they're saying, because it does sound very encouraging. Back-to-back birdies for Lee Ga-young. It's back into red figures. Hasn't been there since the second hole. Now, year one's third. Got to get this one within 10 feet, you feel. Flight a little low draw in there. She's played it pretty well. It's probably bang on about 12 feet for par. So young. Up at 14. Just tugs it a fraction. That's not her best by any stretch of the imagination. 900 million Korean won prize purse up for grabs this week at the E1 Charity Ladies Open. Shinsil, seen a lot of players miss this putt low right. And that one's going to fall off low right as well. So just a par then. 2 under par, but very steady going. Getting used to playing in these featured groups as Bang Shinsil. But it's only her 5th event as a professional on tour. Has the hallmark of a great player. There's no panic when things don't go your way. Just very much grind around together. You slowly piece together opportunities like these when the putter starts to heat up. So don't be surprised if at the end of the day her name's at the top of the leaderboard, because this is to get within one. Just a fraction firm for that line. Another stress-free par. Keeps Troy Hedge in at 2 under. Trailing your pair of leaders, Kim Min Sun 7 and Ji Han Sol, just 2 shots. Jun Yi Sung hit on the 16th, the 498-meter par 5. Lead up with her second, as you'd expect. Pin cut very close to the right edge of the green, was 4th from the right, 84 left for Yi Sung. Is that going to stay on the upper level? Yeah, just about. Just for the psyche of Leo 1, this is a huge putt for par to stay at even. It's going to be a third drop shot in a 4-hole stretch. This year's Lotte Rent-A-Car Ladies Open champion now finds herself the wrong side of par. It's been a tale of 2 nines for the 20-year-old Lee Won. So young, around 25 feet here, moving to her right. Just has not been able to get the measure of these greens on the inward half. He's so young. There Yubin on 15T. Should just be a hard wedge, trying to rope a draw in there. You could see by that follow through, chasing that right hand around, playing an excellent tee shot. Right about where Lee Ga-young made her 2 from. Up to the 14th tee and start to climb back up the hill now. Spot 1 in the fairway. We've seen this pin position give up its fair share of birdies today. Hedgen does not miss many fairways. That one down the center stripe once again.
이동 멈춰주세요.
Once again, out with a 3-wood, Bang Shin-sil, graduate of Bibong High School. Introduced to the great game by her parents back when she was just 4 years old. So I have to say that's been a pretty good investment, Mum and Dad. She's certainly going to be a force to be reckoned with in the years to come. Now head to 16, Jun Yi Sung. Looking at about 20 feet for her birdie 4. Try to get there, just running out of steam. They've tried, but no one's come close. 4 under par still sets the pace here on day 1 at Seongmunan Country Club. one just off the fairway again here on 14. It's a clumpy looking lie. Not going to have any spin on this. Need to allow for some release. Straight through the back of the green for the now struggling year one, who finds herself back at 1 over par. 1 under par. Seems to have been stuck on that number for the longest time. Son Ye-bin. Right to left. Look for birdie at 15. It's not going to get there. Not even close for Ye-bin. Shinsil. Got to go flag hunting here. Just leaking that a little bit right, but if that's the worst shot she's going to hit, she's going to make a lot of money in her career. Pin high, about 10 feet away. I suspect in the mood that she's in with these clubs, this could be a little bit closer than that for Choi Hye-jin. Just come over that a little bit, did she? And tucks that left. Still outside look for birdie. Sometimes you get the sense that she's more dangerous from that range than she is from closer. You've got the expectation to make those putts. You can sort of freewheel it in that sort of 15, 20 foot range. Now Ye-bin, a bit longer putt than she would have liked for par at 15. Negotiated with ease. Par in a row. Now Ga Young on the par 5, 16th with her second. Oh, well. Chases that one on the green. Well done, Lee Ga Young. 2 big hits to get home in 2. That's an eagle look. Hong Jong-min to the tee at 15. Could she start putting a couple of birdies together at the end of her round? Pretty good. Pin high at the par 3. The only cause for concern here is there's a sprinkler head right where Year One would ideally want to land this. Just have to skirt that on the left-hand side, and everything will work down towards that hole, chipping downhill. Yeah, pretty good touch from there. But 4 not yet secure for the struggling Year One. Speaking of struggling, he's so young now on 15T. Gets a nice kick. And actually leaves herself in a pretty handy spot there. Not easy to get it underneath the hole on this 15th today with that pin position. She's managed that. Now Hye-jin, another look at birdie here. It's going to fall to her right. Just has to keep that speed up. Nothing more disheartening than seeing a ball start to peel off low way before its apex. It's not gone in, but that's a good positive try. Choi. She knows she only has to be in and around that lead come this stage Sunday afternoon, and she will be a factor. 24th on the Rolex Women's World Rankings, highest she's ever been. Of course, a Korean now leads, or sits atop the Rolex Women's Rankings, I should say, after her performance last week. Jin Young Ko back to world number 1. Shin Sil putting from the opposite side of the hole as Choi He-jin, so this one's going to move from her right, slightly more optically appealing putt for the 19-year-old Shin Sil. Like a bit of a stabby stroke, but it's going to work out well for Bang Shin Sil, who now moves within 1 of Kim Min Sun's 7 and Jihan Seoul's 4 under par clubhouse target. Now to the 17th, and the second shot for Jun Yi-sung. Been 22 on from the front, pretty much smack in the middle of the green, just that greenside bunker on the right to worry about. That's nicely worked out from Yi-sung. Pin high, inside of 30 feet. Decent look there. Steady. Steady. Okay, make that 35 feet. Here on to save a par and stop the bleeding. Sense that that putt was hit more in hope than conviction. Another bogey. And who would have predicted this after looking so solid on that front 9? Year 1 finds herself at 2 over par with 4 holes left to play in her opening round. Jungmin also at 2 over par, but birdie hunting here at 15, not quite going to be enough for Hong. Bit of a rough day at the office for Lim Hee-jung this afternoon. She'll defend her Korean Women's Open title in a couple of weeks' time, returning to Rainbow Hills, where she set the tournament scoring record 12 months ago. And too often have we seen that from Hee-jung over the last month. Close, but no cigar. She'll stay at 3 over. Shin Sil and He-jin, who are both having very solid outings on day 1 of this 54-hole event. Shin Sil now within 1 of the lead with a par 5 to come. Just waiting for Lee So-young's birdie effort up on the green. To be for So-young. All 3 players this group struggling. Hee-jung at 3 over, Jungmin at 2 over. So-young going along the best of the 3, but she too over par for this opening round. Eagle look for Lee Ga-young at the 16th. Anything inside of 4 feet. I'm very happy with this. Easy ball, easy. It's just a little rush of blood to the head. Still, just going to have that left for birdie to get to 2 under. Shinsil. You imagine this is no more than a wedge. You might have to take some off this, in fact. Oh, running out of superlatives. That's another excellent tee shot. To challenge that pin, trying to float to high cut wedge, and they're not easy to do. And she's going to have that to tie the lead. Wonder what Choi Hye-jin makes of her teenage playing partner's prowess. She's had a front row seat to some excellent golf from the tour rookie. Not one to try to force a shorter club up there, so I imagine this would be a 9-iron. Just move it up in the stance a bit, try and get a little higher trajectory on it, get it to stop quicker. Very nicely played. Once again, a couple of excellent tee shots for Bang Shin-sil and Choi Hye-jin. Ga Young, comeback putt for birdie after finding the green in 2 on the 16th. And that is frustration personified. 2 great hits to leave yourself an eagle look. And you take 3 to get down for a level par effort. Still 1 under par. Sticking around is Lee Ga-young. Down to the 17th. Jun Yi-sung. Pretty flat for the first 2/3 of it, then comes slightly downhill at the end. Yeah, good pace there from Yi-sung. So a birdie from Bang Shin-sil now moves her into a share of 3rd at 3 under par with a host of other players, just 1 behind, Kim Min-sun 7 and Ji Han-sol's 68 targets in the clubhouse. Problems continue for Lee Ye-won on this back nine, coming up well short on the par 3 15th. It's a bit of a ridge to contend with as well, so we'll have to look a little bit left here, unless this one go trundling off down to the right. Yeah, nicely played shot there. Real touch of class there. Still grinding hard, battling hard is Ye-won. Should be able to manage that one for par. Yebin going for it in 2 on 16. We've seen it's doable. Lee Ga-young got on the front left edge of the green with her second. Son Yebin going to come up just a little shy. Now Hejin, smart shot. Past the pin there. Rewarded with a birdie look for about 18 feet. Another very good putt from Choi Hye-jin. And she just looks so much more comfortable when she's outside of 10 feet. It's bizarre to say, but anyone who's played this game will tell you they know exactly what I'm talking about. Shin-sil, opportunity now to tie the lead. It's not the easiest putt. She's left herself to swing a good sort of 6-8 inches from the left. Oh, and that moved back the other way at the end. That has both fooled Bang. With a par. With the par 5 16th up ahead. Keeps it within 1. Well, ample green to work with. Lots of options for Son Ye-bin here. Bit of a little rise, a little mound to contend with, about 8 feet short of this pin. Try and pitch one in low at the base of that mound, have it skip up and check and just release on off the back side of it towards the pin. Is it going to make it up the mound? Just. Now the last of the 4 par 5s here. Tee off from well above the fairway, and it's a hole that has an interesting shape to say the least here at Seongmunan. Longer hitters will have to challenge the big clump of trees in trouble on the left-hand side. They want to leave themselves the shortest possible second shot to this green. Most of the other shorter hitters want to look out towards the first of the 2 bunkers on the right-hand side. If you are too far back or you just fancy your chances with a wedge shot better, you can always lay up. There's a lot of room out to the left-hand side. It's a very fat, generous portion of the fairway to be laying up in. Bigger hitters can challenge the green too, but they will have to be wary of the trees on the left and the creek on the right. A lot of players going for it in 2 will try to leave it just in this different cut of mow here, short left of the green. Gives yourself the most number of options to the pin today. That is cut 4 from the right edge and 27 from the front. Just at the top of a little brow, which has proved tricky for some players to negotiate. And for Bang Shin-sil, she gets a good one away here up the left-hand side. May not even need to hit driver. Chase a hard draw 3-wood round and still be left with a similar distance to where Lee Ga-young and Son Ye-bin were playing their seconds from. Is it driver? Is it 3-wood? That is the question for Bang Shin-sil. She certainly spent a lot of time deliberating back on this tee box. Let's just get the sense if she takes driver up the left-hand side, and even if she keeps one dead straight and absolutely nuts it, she could run out of room. And they're waiting back there because Lee So-young, who's got a good drive away, is having a crack at the green in 2. Certainly one of the longer players on the KLPGA Tour. She's going to have to wait because Son Ye-bin up on the green as this for birdie. Oh, she was just short of the green in 2, pitched up to here. Once again, a chance to get to 2 under. Putting, or the putter, has gone a little cold on this back 9 for Son Ye-bin. Nothing wrong with it. She's made a dozen pars in a row. She has been stuck on 1 under par for the last 2.5 hours, if not more. They go up to 17 and Lee Ga-young just in the first cut of rough. Just a little left. It should stay on the green. No, just releases through, and well, the line looks okay then. There's going to be ample amount of real estate for her to negotiate. Bit of a lengthy wait back in the fairway for Lee So-young. Just trying to stay loose. Going to be an even longer wait back on the tee for Bang Shin-sil, and just from this angle can't quite tell what club she's got in her hands. That looks like a 3-wood. I think if that is a 3-wood, that would be the right play for Shin-sil. Now green is clear. So-young ready to attack in 2. Width she creates the top of her backswing, and also how aggressively she sort of clears her lower body, drives hard onto her left-hand side. It's good separation and gets a good amount of pop and speed out of it as well. Just from where that camera was going, are we being led to believe that she's just domed that 50 yards in front of her? Certainly looked like a much better swing than that. Suppose we'll find out shortly. Oh, indeed she did. Just the straight dome. Goodness me. She's actually lucky that's come up short of the penalty here, and the rough is as thick as it is. Problems continue for Lee So-young. Shin-sil, green flag, all systems go. Yep. Indeed, it is a 3-wood, so now she can afford to not have to cut off so much of that left-hand side. Still want to be looking at the further of those 2 fairway bunkers up the right-hand side. And the nice thing about hitting the shorter club here for this elevated tee is she can go at this a little bit harder, a bit more full send mode for Shin-sil. Goodness, the hang time on that ball was inspiring, and she has left it in an absolutely ideal spot. heavy artillery for Choi Hye-jin. A similar line required. She took it all the way down the left. That's one of those lucky, unlucky tee shots. So that's in the fairway. It's green light. Just ends up in the rough, but avoids the creek. Not sure she knows exactly where that is, but she would have gotten the all clear signal. Year one. There's a decent birdie opportunity here, but she must find the fairway first. Struggling back at 2 over par. We are going to make a mistake off this tee. Right, certainly better than left. About 6 inches behind the ball of Bang Shin Sil's 3-wood. So Young, now her third to the 16th. Definitely needs to look left here. Do not bring any further trouble into play. Good smart shot. Heart of the green. That's a green in regulation for So Young. Still, we'll have a birdie look, albeit from about 40 feet away. Now Guy Young ahead on 17. This chip's going to negotiate that little ridge in the middle of the green that will kick it left. Yeah. Glorious bit of touch from Guy Young. Hong Jung-min went for the green in 2. Just coming up short here. But it's just sitting in a nice sort of tufty line. It's not perched right on the top of the blades of grass where you feel like there's the danger of sort of chopping under the ball and it not going anywhere. So it's just enough of a cushion. There's not much green to work with on this angle. You just have to dump it into that right fringe and let it kick left and release. Something just like that. That is a sumptuous golf shot from Hong Jung-min. Very nicely played. Now Guy Young to clean up for her par at 17. Yeah, well done. Good up and down. 1 under. Going up the last. She's taken an adventurous path up this par 5, Lee So-young, but we'll have a birdie look. That's all you can ask for, really. Slightly down the hill and will sort of drift a little to her left. Looking to look at the apex of the putt there. She was making a little practice strokes from. Again, you don't have to go gunning this one at the hole. Snuggle it down to tap in range. If it drops, great. If it doesn't, you can take the stress-free par. Just a little pacey, but she should be able to manage that. All things considered, I suppose 5 is a reasonable score for Lee So-young. After that, well, cold top with her second shot, going for the green in 2. Son Yibin on 17. Haven't seen anyone within 20 feet of this whole location. Just had a scoring correction for you. In fact, being double on 13. Not a par, so she's back at 1 over. And it wasn't to be 12 straight pars for Yibin. Oh, but this is pretty good. Oh, it's excellent. It's the best shot all day into the 17th, and it's still going to release a good 12 feet away. But a chance to get back to even par coming for Son. Now, Hee-jung. Very nice wedge into here. Is to get to 2 over. About time. Good birdie there for Lim Hee-jung. There's always a smile never far from her face. But there is still work to be done if she wants to make the 36-hole cut tomorrow evening. Now up to the home hole. And Chun Yi-sung. Pins cut right on the front portion of the green today. 5 from the front edge, 5 from the left. And that is a very stylish way to attack the final green. Now Jungmin for her birdie to get to 1 over. Yeah, well done. Good up and down there from Hong Jung-min. Year 1 not going to attack into, so just laying this one up. Looking at the furthest of the 3 bunkers on the left-hand side. That's a target. Imagine it's going to be a layup for Choi He-jin as well. Remember her tee shot coming to rest and some of the thick rough just left of the fairway as Lee So-young should just clean this one up for her 5. Yep, okay. Well, Shin-sil is waiting for the green to clear. So, according to plan so far, Lisa 3 wood down the middle of the fairway. She's got a comfortable enough number to the front left edge of the green where she can take the shot on. So that TV tower in the distance, or the white TV tower I should say, and that would be the ideal start line here. Certainly looked like a very good swing. Oh, she's carried it onto the green. Cannot be overstated how impressive she is and what an advantage she has in her locker with her speed and distance. He-jin, I can't believe she's got this club in hand. The line looked pretty thick, but she knew what she was doing, and she's, well, chased it up to a fairly decent spot. Down the hill at the final hole, Ko Ji-yu, who slipped back with a couple of drop shots since we last saw her, but This putt from right around 35 feet, a chance to end on a high note. Oh, so very nearly a grandstand finish for Koji Yu, but that'll be a round of 75. 3 over par, 7 back, and in danger of missing the cut here. Year one. Should be a nice, comfortable yardage here. Again, if anything, you're much better off being a little bit past this pin than short of it. Leaves you the uphill putt. Oh, that's more like it from the year one. Very nice shot. Hedgen walked all the way up to the green to survey the situation. I think that the shot to play is that sort of like low skipper. A little bit more room for error than trying to fly it all the way there with a bit of spin. Pretty well played. Again, that's not too bad, even though it's run on a little bit. It's the uphill leave that you want to have. So, to finish with a birdie. Chen Yi-sung for a round of 71. No, robbed. Such a good third as well to that tight front hole location, and it's only going to be a par. Level par 72 to open her campaign this week, Chen Yi-sung. Just the one birdie on the 9th, balancing out that bogey she made back at 4. Now Sonia Bin, after the best shot we've seen all day into 17. Can she take advantage? Oh, that's pretty cruel as well. And the scoring correction for Yebin. In fact, it was a double bogey 6 at the 13, so she's at 1 over, not 1 under. Bang Shin Sil, this would be some exclamation point, wouldn't it? Currently one back, but this to leapfrog the two leaders. An eagle look at the 16th. Is it going to get there? There's a little tentative. And 4, not secure yet. Guy Young at the 18th hole. She's battled nicely on this back 9 to be at 1 under par. Lee Guy Young. That's a pretty good shot into the last. Downhill right to left putt remaining. So that for a round of 70. Hedgen slightly up the hill, moving to her left to get to 3 under par. Got it. She's got it. Beautifully done from Choi He-jin. Finally a putt drops for her. She's had a couple of looks from that range. She'll take advantage and join the party at 3 under. A nice birdie indeed from the 24th ranked player in the world, seeking a 9th KLPGA Tour title this week in Wonju City. But for this young lady, Bang Shin-sil, an opportunity to move into a position that she has come rather accustomed to finding herself in, at the top of the leaderboard at a KLPGA Tour event. This is a birdie look to make it a trio at 4 under. And she drains it. A nice 2-putt after finding the green in 2. Bang Shin-sil joins Kim Min-sun 7 and Ji Han-sol at 4 under par atop the leaderboard at the E1 Charity Ladies Open. Final hole of the day, hopefully final stroke of the day for Lee Guy Young. Oh, someone gave it to her about a foot out. Wouldn't surprise me if it came from the Lee Guy Young fan club. But it's not going to be a birdie, it's just a par, but a 1 under par round of 71 that leaves Lee Guy Young inside the top 20. Year 1 needs this to get to 1 over. Should move a little to her left as it gets to the cup. She's got to start it outside the hole though. Stay committed to that line. That has been the summation of her inward half this afternoon. Absolutely nothing going her way. So, tournament co-leader now, Kang Shin Sil. 2 holes to play. And now unsheathes the big stick on the 17th. And she can punt this one down a good distance. And that pin suddenly becomes a little bit more accessible. Just at the top of that spine that splits the green into front and back sections. She must find the fairway though. It's just going to creep into the left rough, but it's okay. Certainly the side of the fairway you prefer to miss it on. Pigeon. Only one back now. Year one. Jess, the clubhouse couldn't come fast enough for her. Okay, that's a good start there, just down the left-hand side. Green, Hong Jung Min. Now she's stringing together a couple of birdies here. This would be a good one to have on 17. Has it got the speed? Now, just lacking a little oomph from Jung Min, but it's been a nice fight back. Remember, headed to 3 over par at one point on this back nine, but has rectified the situation with the par 5 18th to come. So young, desperately needs something to fall for her. And it's not going to come at 17. Jung just coming off that birdie at 16. That Hong Jung Min could be racing towards the clubhouse with a couple of birdies. Just unlucky there. Stays off on the right-hand side. Again, just anything in red figures tomorrow for Lim Hee Jung, and she should play Sunday. Choi Eun-woo. Let's look at the Nexen St. Nine Masters champion of earlier this year. Level par today, but out of the right rough here on the 18th. 109 left for her third. Might even consider letting this one short of the green, trying to bounce it up. She pitches this on the putting surface. It's not going to hold. Pretty good. Pretty good indeed. Year one from the left half of the fairway. Pretty sure she can just see the very top of the flag stick here. Maybe just the flag, because that fairway, you can tell from that camera angle, it does have a little mound on the left-hand side. So it just makes this a little bit more tricky. I'll be able to see the full target in front of you. She leaked that right. You don't want to be right, and that is short-sided. Don't think she's in the bunker. The wheels have certainly come off the trolley for last year's Rookie of the Year on this back nine. Work to be done on the range, and work to be done tomorrow morning if she wants to make the 36-hole cut here. A little bit further up the fairway, so should be able to see more of the target for Choi Hye-jin. Oh, I tell you, she was good with her irons, or what? That looks so good in the air, straight on line. She'll take it though. Birdie looked to come, and that would be to tie the lead. Shin-sil, she could sort of land this maybe a yard or two short of where Hye-jin's ball is finished. Should have some release on it coming out of the secondary cutter rough. The thing you want to protect against is the flyer. And she's played a very good shot from that spot. It's going to release on a little. And she is learning every single week. She is in contention. She's hitting smarter shots. She's taking more chances. She's learning when to attack, when to defend. She's learning how to lead, and she finds herself in that exact position as we just about wrap up our coverage for this opening round. Kim Min-sun, 7, and Ji Han-sol have company, and it's Bang Shin-sil. The three of them lead at 4 under par with a host of chasers at 3 under, which includes Choi Hye-jin. That'll just about do it for us today from Seongmunan Country Club in beautiful Wonju City. We do hope you'll join us tomorrow afternoon, same time, same place, for more action on the KLPGA Tour here at the E1 Charity Ladies Open. Until then, this is Timothy Lowe saying bye-bye for now.